Well, hi everyone. How are you doing this week? I hope you've had a good week and that things have gone well for you. This week's a little bit different. I have been looking around and we all hear all the things that are in the news that are going on. And those are just signs of our times, signs of the times, what's going on. So I got to looking in my Bible, and I know Matthew 24 is where Jesus told the disciples. They asked him, "What things do we look for when you're coming back again?" And most of the people, the disciples and apostles, thought that Jesus would be coming back in their generation. And every generation since that has sort of felt the same way. And a lot of Christians in our generation feel like Jesus will come back before the end of our lifetime. And that is entirely possible. But we don't know that. We don't know when Jesus is coming back. As a matter of fact, Jesus himself said only the Father knows. So Jesus doesn't even know when that day is planned. But one day God is going to turn to Jesus and say, "It's time, my son. It's time to go back." So today I want to read to you from 2 Timothy, the 3rd chapter. And in this chapter, Paul is writing to Timothy, and he's telling him some of the things that we need to be looking for. Now, I feel like the reason I feel like it'll be our generation was the one thing that those generations before us had not seen was the reestablishment of the state of Israel, when God called his chosen people back to the land he had promised them. My feeling is that sort of set a clock that it's time for us to look at these things. And you may not agree with that, and that is fine. I would be happy to, let's get together and talk about it a little bit and see what we can come up with. You know, I don't know any more about this than you do, and it's what we've read in the Bible. But I want to read this to you. It's starting with the first verse of chapter 3. And I'm reading from the Amplified Version. It says, "But understand this, that in the last days there will set in perilous times of great stress and trouble, hard to deal with and hard to bear. For people will be lovers of self and utterly self-centered, lovers of money and aroused by an inordinate, greedy desire for wealth, proud and arrogant and contemptuous boasters. They will be abusive, disobedient to parents, ungrateful, unholy, and profane. They will be without natural human affection, callous and inhuman, relentless, admitting of no truce or appeasement. They will be slanderers, false accusers, troublemakers, intemperate and loose in morals and conduct, uncontrolled and fierce, haters of good. They will be treacherous, rash, inflated with self-conceit. They will be lovers of sensual pleasures and vain amusements more than, and rather than, lovers of God. For although they hold a form of piety, they deny and reject and are strangers to the power of it. Their conduct belies the genuineness of their profession. Avoid all such people, turn away from them. For among them are those who worm their way into homes and captivate silly and weak-natured and spiritually dwarfed people, loaded down with sins, and easily swayed and led away by various evil desires and seductive impulses." Reading through that, everything that says is what we see happening in our world, and more particularly in our nation today. All you've got to do is take 2 Timothy 3, read through it, and then go watch the news. And you can see exactly what's happening. So I firmly believe that we are in these last days. And as Christians, it is our responsibility to watch for those signs. But the most important thing that we can do as Christians is to tell people, tell them the story of Jesus. Tell them what is prophesied in the Bible. You know, I saw something this week that said, well, it was predicted in the Bible. The Bible doesn't make predictions. What the Bible says is prophecy, and what it says is true, and what it says is going to happen. That is not a prediction, that is fact. So I really want you to think about this week. Look around you, see what's going on, and then go read 2 Timothy 3 and or Matthew 24, where Jesus said a lot of the same things. But while we're looking around at what's happening, let's remember to look up, because he could come at any time riding on the clouds. And won't that be a glorious day when he comes back to take us home? I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. Everybody have a good week, and I will talk to you again next week. Bless you.